Hello, my Bookish stars. I am here in Orlando, Florida. I'm at an Airbnb right now and I'm in the pool getting ready to read my book. So I wanted to take y'all along that journey. Hi, I am Anika and I am the creator of this channel, Anika's Creative Plans. Y'all, I do a lot on this channel. I do plan with me's on this channel. I do my bookish, what I'm reading. I do self-care on Friday, y'all. I talk about my business, Anika's Creative Closet, on Tuesday. And Thursday is kind of like one of those miscellaneous days where I share like my new releases that's coming out for my business and any other videos that I just want to put up. But I love it here. I love the bookish community. And on Wednesday, that's all we talk about are books that I am reading currently, or I did my mid-year. I do everything like that. So I'm so glad that y'all here on my channel. I really love it here. Okay, so let's get into what I am reading right now. So I am reading Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. And I can't tell you if I read a book by her or not. I can't remember if I did. But maybe this is the very first book. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not. But if I did, I'd probably just tell y'all what book I read somewhere. Just put it on the screen. But I can't remember if I read a book by her or not. But this is Every Summer After, and y'all know I'm just really wanting to read summer. I'm not really a theme person, but for some reason I just felt that this time I needed to read summer books about, you know, being at the beach or even thriller things. But I wanted to read this and I started it already. And then I'm on chapter 2, but I'm going to read the synopsis on the back. I'm not going to read everything on here. But they say you can never go home again. And for, I think her name is Persephone Fraser, and they call her Percy, ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life a decade ago that has felt too true. Instead of spending glittering summers on the lake shore of her childhood, she stays home in a stylish apartment in the city, keeping everyone a safe distance from her heart, until she received the call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay into an orbit of Sam Forrick, the man she never thought she have to live without. So in chapter 1, it talks about why she's going back to Barry's Bay. And so that's where I am now. I'm so looking forward to reading this. And for 6 summers, through hazy afternoons on the water and warm summer nights, working in his family restaurant, Percy and Sam had been inseparable. You can come over here, baby. Inseparable. Eventful, that friendship, we're going to talk about your book. Come over here. Turned into something more before it fell spectacular apart. So they fell apart, Percy and Sam. Percy is Persephone, I think that's how you say her name. But I am looking forward to reading this book, and I'm just going to take you. So my daughter and I, this is Madison. Madison is reading her book. Let me see what your book is. You want to say what your book is?
My book is called The Bodyguard by Catherine Sindler. Sindler. So it's basically about she's gonna become a bodyguard for this man, and that's all I know about it. To be honest, I didn't read too much about it.
So you go into your books like you don't like to read the back?
I don't like to read much of it, like on Amazon. Like I get all my books off of Amazon, so I don't like to read like the whole thing. I like to read like most of it to see what it's about, because I don't like every single book.
Right.
And then I look on a little bit of TikTok to make sure it's like appropriate for my age.
Okay.
So I know she's appropriate for my age because her husband is a teacher.
Okay.
And she didn't want, I think it was either her husband is a teacher or she was a teacher, and she didn't want her husband's kids to be reading like more adult things.
Okay.
Because they can just look up her,
books and want to read it. Okay. So this is my daughter Madison, and she also works with me. So you've probably seen her if you have watched my studio vlogs, you will see her in my blog. So she actually works with me at Anika's Creative Closet, and so we just have so much things in common. Like she's starting to crochet now. I used to crochet. I really kind of miss it, but she's reading her book. My daughter Keisha, who's the oldest, read all the time, like a lot of books at one. In a month she will read like 10 books in a month, or even more than that. But we just really getting like December of 2023 is when I started getting back into reading. And I'm really enjoying this journey. It's not about how many books I read or read in a month or whatever. I'm just enjoying this journey. I'm not in like competition with anybody looking at it on TikTok or even on YouTube saying, oh, they read these many books. And I'm just like in awe of how many books people read, because I'm like, I don't even have time for it. But I found out that I am really loving Audible books, which I love physical copies, don't get me wrong, but when I'm working and I want to hear something or read something, I listen to Audibles and stuff like that. But I'm excited that we are definitely getting into reading. So Dollar Tree. So we're going to see what kind of books they have today in here. So let's go. Oh, they might have a lot of good books. Let's see what they have. Oh. Okay, y'all, it's the next day, and I went to the Dollar Tree to see what types of books they had, and I'm really having a really great time reading. I really enjoyed reading at the pool, y'all. It was so relaxing. I did finish Every Summer After. It was a really good book. I started reading it and then I listened to it on Audible because we were traveling as well. So it was easy for me to put my headphones on and listen as I was traveling. And because my husband wanted to listen to music. And so I put on my headphones and just listened to it, and I finished it. We were at the Airbnb from Thursday to Sunday. But Saturday was one of those days that we stayed around the pool, just relaxing. It was just wonderful. The weather was wonderful, y'all. That was the very first time going to Orlando and it didn't rain. It did not rain, y'all. So it was perfect weather. But I did finish the Every Summer After. I really enjoyed this book. I really did. And it was interesting towards the end. Y'all, I was shocked by what happened. And I don't want to say what happened because I don't want to give any spoilers. But for me, I don't know if I can be that forgiving. But in a relationship. But hey, who you love, who you love. And I know that sometimes that happens. It is realistic in life that some people, go through that. But anyway, it was really good. But I think it'll be a good read if you go to the beach or go to a pool or whatever. I really enjoyed this. I also started The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. And I am right here. So there's no chapters in this book. So I'm right here. So I have this left, which I can finish just by tomorrow, which will be Thursday. And then I'll pick up another book because I think I can get one more book in before the end of the month. I hope, because it's only the 24th. So I have plenty of time. Can I get 2 books in? I'm not going to push it. But if I read an Audible and have a physical book, maybe I can, but we'll see. I'm off to a good start in July, and I'm just happy for it because I had more time in July to just sit and read. But in the last clip that y'all saw me going to the Dollar Tree to look for books. And I get this idea, and I've seen books in the bookstore, but I never paid attention to them, to be honest. And really, I'm back on my journey of reading. I just started back in December. I mean, I read stuff, but not in the intents that I'm reading now. So I started back December of 2023. So I'm really, really enjoying this journey, y'all. I really am. So I wanted to give a shout out to Danny Reeves. Y'all make sure y'all are following her. She is in my description. Her YouTube channel. She reads a lot of thriller books, and this was one of the books that she recommended, and I wanted to read it. And so far it's really good, and I'm really ready to get through with it so I can find out what's happening. But anyway, and I'll talk more about it at the end of the month. But let's see what I got at Dollar General. Not Dollar General, y'all. The Dollar Tree. Why did I say Dollar General? But because it's actually across the street from me. But anyway, Dollar Tree has some books, y'all. And y'all seen my clip. But let me tell you what I picked up from them. Y'all, let's see. So I got four books. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I never heard of these authors. I really haven't. I did look on Amazon as well. So of course I got these books for $1.25. And so the first book I got was The Missing Hours by Julia Dow. I think that's how you say her name. And you might hear some noise in the background because I'm filming and a lot of people are just passing through. I'm in the front of the house. But I don't really know what this book, I don't really like reading sometimes the back of the book. I don't know. Sometimes I do. So I don't really, it's a dark thriller book. And let's see. This one says, I'm going to read it. I'm going to go ahead and read it. From a distance, Claudia Castro has it all. A famous family, a trust fund, 1,000 of Instagram followers, and a spot in New York, NYU's freshman class. But look closer and things are messier. Her parents are separating. She just been humiliated by a sleazy documentary. And her sister's about to have a baby with a man she barely knows. Claudia starts the school year resolved to finding a path towards something positive, maybe even meaningful, until one drunken night everything changes. Reeling in her memory haze, Claudia cuts herself off from her family, seeking solace in a new friendship. But when the rest of the school comes back from spring break, Claudia is missing. The missing hour. Oh my God. Suddenly the whole city is trying to piece together the hour of that terrible night. So this is about violence, obsession. Yo, okay. Oh my gosh. And I love it that it has a big writing too. So we will see what happened to Claudia in The Missing Hour. I'm excited about that. Oh, it got a spot on it. Oh, look, it got a spot. An ink spot. But anyway, that was that. Now I got this book by, I think the name is Bridget Gimmerer. I'm gonna say, hey, forgive me if I didn't say that right. Listen, hey, it is what it is. Thicker Than Water. Now, this was supposed to be like I don't know if it was like a YA book. I think it is. I'm not sure what this book is all about, but when I did read the back of this because I never heard of this book. Thomas Bellwether hasn't been in town long, just long enough for his newlywed mother to be murdered. And I feel like they always have like thriller books or mystery books in the, not all, at the, what is the store that I can, Dollar Tree. Yeah, I can't even remember. I want to say Dollar General, but anyway. So enough of his newlywed mother to be murdered and for his new stepfather's cop colleague to decide Thomas is a primary suspect. Okay. Not that there's any evidence, but before Thomas got to Garrett Mills, there had just been one other murder in 20 years, y'all. Okay. So that's really what caught my eye. The only person who believed him is Charlotte Rooker, little sister to three cops, and with her soft hands and sweet curves straightened up, dangerous to Thomas. Her friends was the other murder vic, and she's like a couple answers that could get them both killed and reveal a true Thomas would die to keep hidden. So we will see when I get with this book. I'm not sure. Thicker Than Water. Okay, so I also got The Unsinkable Greta James. It's a novel by Jennifer E. Smith. It's a best-selling author. I don't really know. It's about a cruise ship story with a. I just like the cover, y'all. Look at that. I really like the cover. I like the colors, and so I got it. And I didn't read the back of the book, but it's a cruise story. This is somebody else talking about the Linda Holmes, New York Times bestseller author of Eva Drake Starts Over, said a cruise story with a vibrant sense of its unusual settings. The characters are drawn with generosity that allow them to be wrong but also right, loving but also prone to missteps, and ultimately deserving of resolution that full of hope. I really brought this because of the cover, y'all. I didn't even read anything. I'm gonna read the the inside. Have y'all ever just did that? Like, just purchase a book because of the cover and really didn't know what was going on in the book. And this book, honestly, this is like 306 pages. Like 306 pages. So it's, let's see, just after the sudden death of her mother, her first and most beloved fan. Okay. And weeks before the launch of her high state sophomore album, Greta James fall apart on stage. So I guess she's a singer. The footage quickly goes viral, and she stopped playing. Her career suddenly in jeopardy, and the kind of jeopardy her father, Conrad, had always predicted. The kind he warned her about when he urged her to make more practical choices with her life. So I guess her dad didn't want to go into the field that she wanted to go into. Months later, Greta, still heartbroken and very much adrift, reluctantly agrees to accompany Conrad on an Alaskan cruise her parents had booked to celebrate their 40th anniversary. It could be their last chance to heal old wounds in the wake of shared losses. But the trip will also prove to be a voyage of discovery. Oh my gosh. For Ben Wilder, a charming historian who is on board to lecture about The Call of the Wild. You remember The Call of the Wild? That was a movie, right? The Call of the Wild? I think it was a movie. And struggling with the major upheaval of his own life, as Greta works to build back her confidence, and Ben confronts an uncertain future, they find themselves drawn to and relying on each other. In here is the unlikeliness of places at sea, far from the packed city ventures, where she usually plays and surrounded by the stunning Alaskan wilderness, that Greta will finally confront the choices she made, the heartbreak she suffered, and the family hurt that runs deep. In the end, she has decided with her path to forward might look like. Okay, let me read that again. She have to decide what her path forward might look like and to find her voice again. I think I might like this book because I love it when people find their voice in life. I do. We all sometimes got to find our voice in life. And so that is The Unsinkable Greta James. So I think I want to read that one. I know I want to read that one. So I got this now. Let me tell you. Honestly, I have 3 dogs, right? I have 2 pit bulls, Blue and Shadow. They are outside, so they are not inside dogs. And so we have them outside. My husband takes so good care of them. And then we also have a Yorkie named Roxy, which is spoiled, okay? Roxy is my kid's dog, for real. So when I told them after Madison leave which one is going to take Roxy with them. And my husband's like, Roxy's not going anywhere. I was like, yes, she is. Okay. But I love Roxy too. But I think the dog is my kid's dog, but we'll see how that plays out. So Erica Waller, Dog Days, a novel about love, loss, and what it is to be human. This is a book right here that I got. So George is a grumpy old man who has just lost his wife. She has left him notes out around the house and a miniature Dachshund puppy called Poppy. But George doesn't want a dog, and he wants to fight everyone who is trying to help him. So I think this would be a really good story for me. And Dan is another, has OCD and has channeled his energy into his career as a therapist. Because he's afraid to acknowledge his true feeling, his most meaningful relationship so far is with his dog Fritz. That is until Atlas walks into his life. So I don't know. It must be different. So it's going to be about George, Dan, and Lizzie. So Lizzie is living in a women's shelter with her son, Lenny. Her body is covered in scars as she has shut herself off from the world. She distrusts dogs, but when she starts having to walk the shelter dogs, Maud, things begin to change. As three strangers live unravel and intersect. This is going to be oh my gosh. They ultimately must accept what fate has in store for them with their dogs by their side. Oh my gosh. This is like, oh my gosh. Set against the backdrop of Britain, Dog Days is an inspiring, unflinching, and deeply moving novel about life and the way dogs can help us understand it and each other a little better. So with my dog Roxy, right, my kids take care, really Madison, and when Keisha comes home, she takes care of Roxy, right? And I wanted to get this book because I believe that dogs tell us something, right? So when I'm like not feeling well, or if I'm not in a good space, Roxy comes up to me. And when I walk through the door, she'll be on her two legs and jumping up. And you know what? One thing about dogs that I realize is they're gonna love you no matter what. Good days, bad days, whatever. They're gonna love you no matter what. So I wanted to pick up this book because I think it's going to be inspirational for me to read it. But my husband always tell me, like, Nika, you're not gonna want to you're not going to want Roxy to leave. And I'm like, yeah, she can go with the kids. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't know. But we'll see which child will get Roxy. But anyway, I just reading this and how George, Dan, and Lizzie is going to connect because of their dogs. I'm ready to read this, y'all. I am so ready to read this now. And I read some of the reviews. It's 356 pages. I read some of the reviews on Amazon, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really going to be a good book. So I picked up several books there, but I was looking at Amazon to see what the reviews, and this is one of the books that I was like, yes, I needed to have, Dog Days. And it's about loss, love, and what it is to be human. So we'll see how this book goes. And I think that I may journal more about this book because just reading the back just really touched me. Okay, y'all, so that is it. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.